here's an idea for a movie. Just an idea that I had today. A man and a woman are married, okay? And they have children. And then, due to some reason, they end up getting divorced. And so the man, in order to get back with his wife and his children, to be near them and get access to them and somehow, I don't know, win them back or something, disguises himself as a woman in order to fulfill some sort of household role, and eventually hilarity ensues. Now I know what you may be saying. Isn't that the plot for the movie Mrs. Doubtfire? And yes, it's true. Many movies have seen men dressing up as women in order to fulfill various roles and accomplish various goals. Mrs. Doubtfire is one, Tootsie is another one. You can see my hand there. And these movies, while they are decent and they are comedies, all involve the man dressing up as a woman. Here, we're going to turn the entire concept on its head, in that the man, rather than simply dressing as a woman, actually has a sex change. Changes his gender, or rather changes his sex, and has a bunch of plastic surgery and takes on an entirely new character and attempts to get back involved with the wife by making her fall in love with him and marrying him again, only as a woman. See, this is interesting because he's actually going to have to turn his wife into a lesbian, which I don't think is possible. But it's going to be interesting because rather than having him, like, worrying about getting caught and having to take on various disguises and everything and keep up his disguise, it's not going to be a disguise. It's actually going to completely change his gender. So it's going to focus on, as a different person, trying to win over his wife from the start. So it's like, and it goes into like, it's about, not about the children, but it's about their marriage. And just the whole, and the children play a role. So it's like he gets an entirely new perspective on his marriage from the viewpoint of a woman. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hey, that's crap. That'll never work. No one will ever buy that. I mean, who would go to see a movie like a family film about a man who gets a sex change in order to win over his wife? Well, you know what? I don't care. Because I'm not actually writing this movie. It's just an idea I had. And if you don't want to see it, then don't see it. I don't see your movies. Not that you have movies. Because, I mean, you're not writing them, just like me. So I guess we're kind of the same in that way. Because if you had ideas, they would be bad, like mine. So I guess we're really in the same boat here. So I don't know why we're arguing. Or rather, why I'm arguing with you. I don't even know who you are. So I guess that means that I'm the one who's crazy. Or maybe. But, in any case, here's another thing. Have you ever seen the movie Frosty the Snowman? Yeah, Frosty the Snowman. It's about a snowman, a man made of snow, with a corncob pipe and a button nose and 2 eyes made out of coal, as it says in the song. Although in the animated feature, he actually has a carrot nose. It's odd because the song specifically says button nose. And a carrot is like not a button. I mean, even if you were saying that the nose is like a button nose, like just the kind of nose that regular people have, not that it's actually a button, a carrot is just a long nose, so I don't really see the connection there. Anyway, apparently the kids found an old silk hat, and when they placed it on his head, he began to dance around down to the village with a broomstick in his hand, running here and there all around the square, saying, "Catch me if you can." Apparently he ran into a traffic cop. They had some trouble, and he knew the sun was hot that day, so he had to hurry on his way. But regardless, that's not the point here. They also made a sequel to, also they threw in a girl named Karen in the animated film. Not a film, it's a special, a television special. And they have like this whole thing where they go to the North Pole, where it's like it's really hot and he's gonna melt eventually, because they don't live in like some really cold region. They live in the suburbs instead, where it doesn't always, it's a small town really. So apparently I think it's like they hop on the refrigeration car of some train and they go up to like the North Pole. I guess they go through America, up through Canada, up to Alaska or something. I don't know. Apparently the girl's parents just let her go. Well, what do you expect? She ran off with a snowman. But in any case, then they made a sequel. Actually, they made several sequels. One of them, the more popular one, is called Frosty Returns, in which Frosty comes back to fight capitalism. Because there's a man, a capitalist who's in the town, who invents a spray that can make snow disappear to clear out driveways. And apparently this spray is evil because it gets rid of the snow. And the kids like snow. And also they like snow because when there's snow, they're not in school. And there's actually one scene where they're talking to the teacher, the regular teacher. The teacher complains that when it snows, her driveway gets icy and she has a better chance of injuring herself. And when she injures herself, that leads to substitute teachers. And the kids are like, no, no, we want you to injure yourself. And we want to have a substitute teacher because that way we don't have to do any real work. Or any real learning for that matter. So they start this whole campaign to end this guy's capitalistic campaign, and they end up winning over the entire town by having Frosty sing a song. Yeah. See, I don't know why Frosty even returned in the first place. Also, they're like really upset because Frosty is back and this anti-snow product is going to kill Frosty. But I mean, I thought we'd already established in the first one that he has to melt eventually anyway, and that's why he went to the North Pole in the first place. So yeah, it's kind of odd. In any case, here's my idea for a sequel. Okay? Actually, I have two ideas. First off, Frosty the Snowman returns to whatever town this is. And the kids, his children friends, influence him and they talk to him and they persuade him to get a job at the nearby locally opening Walmart. And he needs a job at Walmart in order to pay off his student loan. So he goes there and he gets a job there, and he's able to like stay frozen and everything because they've got like really cold air conditioning, I guess. And as he works there, he becomes increasingly disgruntled until he eventually goes completely crazy and attempts to hold the entire Walmart hostage. Is it hostage or hostage? I've had a very, very long discussion, several discussions about this with someone. So tell me, is the word H-O-S-T-A-G-E, is it pronounced hostage or hostage? Which one is it? Hostage, hostage? I'm not sure. See, I'm from New York. I don't even know what my accent's supposed to be. Not that I even have an accent. Anyway, as I was saying. So, but then it doesn't really work. It's not successful because he's made out of snow. And he eventually ends up getting fired. They decide that Walmart isn't that great a place after all. But nothing happens because it's Walmart. Then there's another idea in which Frosty returns. This is a different time. Frosty returns to the town, and they put the silk hat on his head and dances around, and everyone's happy, and the kids are playing with him. But then the local villagers and the local townspeople, all because they're like all crazy religious fundamentalists, they decide that he's evil and that he's like the product of witchcraft. So, yeah, like they're Puritans. There are Puritans, like in certain towns in America. So anyway, and they all get together, they form an angry mob, and they round up Frosty, and they say that he's the work of Satan, and that he's evil, and that he's the devil, and everything. And the kids go, no, 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 Frosty, Frosty. But they don't listen, and they take him away. The kids get a plan to rescue Frosty from their religious fundamentalist parents, and they try and they execute it well, but it doesn't work because they're just kids. And then they eventually, I guess, kill Frosty. They hang him or something. And it's legal because he's just a snowman. He's not really an American citizen after all. Interesting. Here I am saying my own ideas are interesting. I think they are. I'm not sure if you could really say that's definitive, but there you have it. I'm running out of time here. I can't believe I've actually been talking for so long because it doesn't seem like very long. But in any case, those are my pitches for the day. They're not really pitches because nothing's ever going to come of them. And also, one more comment. Christmas is coming up. I know some people may like Christmas, some people don't. See, I personally don't really have any problem with Christmas. I don't see how anyone else can. Because I'm really fortunate because I don't celebrate Christmas religiously. So it's like I don't have any problem with like the secularization and commercialization of Christmas that's been going on for the past few hundred years. And at the same time, like I don't really want anything really strongly for Christmas. I don't really buy into the commercialism of it as much. I'm not really consumer type person, not really heavily influenced by the market. I don't really want to buy anything. So I guess I can relax there. So it ends up just being really fun. It's actually fun if you ever get a chance. Not that you live in New York. But it's kind of fun on Black Friday or Black Saturday. No, they don't call... yeah, that's it. It's Black Friday, Unholy Sunday, and I guess Black Sabbath in between. on Black Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Well, not Sunday, but on, I guess, whatever day. Because it's not on Saturday. On Sunday you have school the next day. It's after Thanksgiving break. You don't want to go then. But on Saturday, I guess, to go down to Times Square to the big Toys R Us, laugh at the tourists. It's funny. It's fun. Didn't do it this year. Here I am talking about me again. So I am just going to say goodbye. Goodbye. Call that a smile? Yeah, I'm not the smiley type. A nice scowl, I guess, works. Good day.